Welcome friends to this episode of CNS Viewpoint. Today we will be talking about and sharing more information on what we have read on the news and the official press release by government of India, ZyCov-D and others. That about the new vaccine, the CoV-D, ZyCov-D vaccine for against COVID-19. So let's know more about it. What is it about? So friends, ZyCov-D vaccine is fully developed in India. It's an indigenously developed vaccine developed by ZyCov-D. It's a pharmaceutical company, but in close collaboration with along with several agencies of government of India. So ZyCov-D developed by ZyCov-D and government of India in partnership with for example, Department of Biotechnology and National Biopharma Mission, COVID Suraksha, and so many others. So I was going through different details, and so a lot of government agencies have helped support the at every level, preclinical, phase 1, phase 2 as well. So as well as phase 3. So ZyCov-D vaccine. So ZyCov-D vaccine was granted the approval for emergency use authorization by the Drug Controller General of India, and on 20th August 2020. It is the world's first vaccine which is on the plasmid DNA platform. This is a very important thing because no other vaccine so far has used this technology, and this ZyCov-D vaccine is the first ever plasmid DNA vaccine against COVID. All other vaccines, be it Pfizer's vaccine or Moderna or J&J or Covishield or AstraZeneca, which is AstraZeneca, Oxford, Covaxin, Sinovac. There are so many vaccines which have already been approved for emergency use authorization. All these vaccines are based on messenger RNA, mRNA platform, and not on plasmid DNA. So it doesn't mean I'm not qualified enough to opine which one is better, messenger RNA or COVID or DNA, but it's just a matter of fact that this ZyCov-D becomes they will get more interest because it's the first ever plasmid DNA vaccine, and let's hope that this is a good thing. So all right. So the other thing which is very important is that this is the vaccine which has been approved for use in everyone above 12 years of age. This is quite a thing. That I think this is the first vaccine in the country which has been approved for emergency use of for above 12 years of age people. This is amazing. So all those who are above 12 years of age and eligible for this vaccine, please consider, but definitely consider getting fully vaccinated in whichever vaccine you have trust. So all right. So this vaccine, as I said, preclinical studies, phase 1 and phase 2 were supported by the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, and ZyCov-D, and phase 3 is under COVID Suraksha. So the other thing is that it's a 3-dose vaccine. So far in India we have 2-dose vaccines. So this is a 3-dose vaccine. So which means that the first dose after 28 days of first dose, second dose will be given. The second dose after 28 days, and third dose after 56 days. So first dose, second dose after 28 days, third dose after 56 days. So that is what has been recommended by the developers. It is stored at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade, but because it's a plasmid DNA vaccine, so this is more thermostable, which means that as the press release of the developers say, that this can stay okay till 3 months if it is at temperatures like 25 degrees centigrade. So but they recommend storing it at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. But thermostable products are good in terms of transportation, storage, and the kind of infrastructure problems which we might have in our country or other low and middle income countries. So this is a cool thing, and let us hope that this helps. The plasmid DNA vaccines are more easy to develop. relatively, not easy means relatively easier to develop, because these are based on plasmid DNA platform, which requires minimal safety requirement like biosafety level 1, BSL1. There are vaccines which require biosafety level 3 safety protocol or more. So that is a lot of infection control procedures and high-tech gadget, infrastructure in place, which is not only cost-wise becomes very expensive, but you need technical know-how and a whole lot of other paraphernalia to make it work. So this is good. The results of the phase 1 and part of phase 1/2 clinical trials have already been published in the eClinical Medicine Journal of the Lancet. So let's hope more data is also published in and peer reviewed. Another very important thing is that this is not an injectable. This is not an injection. This is a needle-free vaccine, which means needle-free applicator. So basically there is an applicator. I have not seen it, but I'm just reading it also and sharing that this is needle-free, which ensures painless intradermal vaccine delivery. So this is important. We can talk more about it, but before we talk more about how it is administered, because there is no injection, and how it will be administered intradermally, let us talk about that the company plans to manufacture 10 crores, about 100 million doses or 120 million doses every year. As we know, this is a 3-dose vaccine, so we can estimate like 3 to 4 crores or 30 to 40 million people getting fully vaccinated in 1 year. So if the company is able to meet its promises of producing these many vaccines, so let's hope. So the other thing is that the DNA vaccines are also known for the ability to stimulate both humoral and cellular arms of the adaptive human immune system. So let's hope it does. And the applicator has been developed by, now let us talk about the applicator. The applicator is developed by a US-based company called PharmaJet. So PharmaJet is a US-based company, and as I had earlier said, that needle-free applicator, or is also called as jet injector, is basically basically applies a lot of pressure without piercing the skin. So there is a pressure which injects the vaccine or the drug, whatever is that applicator is trying to administer, into the upper layers of our skin. Because of the pressure it gets injected into it. And needle-free injector delivery is not, this technique is not new. It has been in use since 1866. This is a lot of years, it's more than 150 years. And it was also used in smallpox and other mass administration in armies and others. Needle-free injector delivery drugs delivers the drug or vaccine to a person by a narrow, high-pressure stream of liquid which penetrates the outermost skin layer. It does this, intradermal delivery does not make the arm sore. That is what the developers say and the other literature says, like which does happen in the needle-based injections, and also reduces some side effects. So let us hope that this will have more, acceptability, and also it will be more efficacious. The usage of this kind of applicator declined. I have to share that I read it online, that due to the risk of disease transmission, because blood shooting out from the pressure puncture spot could contaminate the tip of the applicator or the jet injector, which led to at least one documented outbreak of hepatitis B at a weight loss clinic in the US in the 1980s. But experts say that there are new technological advances and there has been significant progress to minimize any risk of cross-contamination. And let us hope that the American company PharmaJet has done a good job in this applicator. So PharmaJet applicator is a single-use, sterile, disposable syringe with a reusable injector. So that is why probably it reduces risk of cross contamination as well as eradicate the issue of needle injury. So as I had said that earlier vaccines were messenger RNA vaccines. This is the DNA vaccine. One of the concerns I had read was about the genetic material DNA getting integrated into people's DNA, but I'm not really fully qualified to share or opine or comment more on this. But this definitely raises a caution in me, for the same reasons I get a little bit nervous and not very comfortable when we try to play around too much with our genes and genetic material. But given the pandemic situation, I trust science, and I hope the scientists are doing the right thing and really thinking through. And let us hope science stands with integrity and decisions are based on science. So let us hope we have one more vaccines in our buffet. So there is one more vaccine, ZyCov-D, and so for people to choose from. As Government of India has been very deeply involved with this vaccines development, let us hope that the Government of India also allows other countries and developers to develop this without any IP barriers, without any intellectual property barriers. Also, the speed of vaccination is very, very appallingly low in India and other countries. But there are some nations, the rich nations particularly, which have vaccinated 50, 60, 70, 75 or more % of the population. This is just like, really this is the way to go forward if we at all have to end a pandemic. We cannot end a pandemic in my home, in your home, in one city, in one country, in one continent, but we have to end it all over the world together. We are in this together. So let's hope we are able to do that with vaccine and with every single thing we know how to break the chain of transmission of the virus and prevent serious illness and death. So with these words, I'm concluding this session of CNS Viewpoint, and tomorrow 5 p.m. like every day we will be back again with our thoughts and perspectives on some other issue. So have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are on this planet, on a beautiful planet. This is I'm in Lucknow currently, and it is monsoon time, and probably you can see a lot of clouds and it was just raining very heavily, but right now it has there is no rain. So but it's very cool winds and beautiful weather. All the best. Bye bye.